Looking for an answer. Looking for an answer to soothe my soul, baby. Take me away. Looking for an answer. Looking for an answer to soothe my soul, baby. Take me away.
Welcome everybody back to Stranger Damies. This is episode 5. We are just getting to the very early point of our second campaign here, so I think we finally got our feet under us, so I'm looking forward to a good episode here. So let's recap. After rescuing Barris and Baragon from the Dynasty's army, Surreal and her crew, consisting of Iggy and Rex, escorted the pair to Emberberg as part of the contract with him. While there, they discovered that the mayor was missing, and a reward was available for his return and for the restoration of the town's famous lantern light. Our adventurers found Mayor Jome Antana and returned him to town, along with the body of a werewolf, which they found out was who they found out was named Lon. Back at the Vivid Fire, the group learns of the Six, which are a loosely connected group of people wreaking havoc in the independent city-states and part of the Hill Giant Enclave. Jome informs Barris that he has information on the location of a Delacroix, which is the family that Barris is looking for. He tells him to go to the port city of Astoria and find his source, Big Johnson, to fill in the details. On their way to Astoria, our crew is attacked by acolytes of the sea monster and barely make it out alive. Now they have arrived in Astoria and were pointed in the direction of the Dire Straits Bar and Grill, where they were told they could find Big Johnson. Guys, you are exiting the docks and into the town of Astoria.
Okay, what's a quick general sense of what this city is like?
Yeah, so give me a quick perception check to see what you see.
It's a 17.
17. All right, so you look around, and it very much would be reminiscent of like a tourist town, like lots of lots of people walking around, going into different shops. There's a few inns. There's some bars. There's like shops all over the place for anything you can think of. Most of them for you guys as adventurers just look like little knickknacks that people would pick up in their travels through here. And not anything, gear-wise or anything, at least in this section of the city. But you see above all the buildings is the giant sign for the Dire Straits Bar and Grill. Let me get everybody an investigation check to see how long it takes you to actually navigate this tourist area.
14 from me.
I rolled a 19.
Also 14.
Okay.
18.
All right. So, with that good combination of good average, it only takes you guys about the 20-minute walk from the docks to the bar. You don't get caught up in too many crowds. And when you get in front of it, the bar at the Bar and Grill is this a giant rectangle of a building, 2 stories. The giant flaming or like lit up sign is right there. You have 2 doors in front of you. You guys, if you do want to proceed in, enter in.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Just as we were walking, did I notice anyone looking at us strangely? Anyone following us?
Give me a perception check.
Maybe like whispering.
Yeah, give us a perception check.
Perception. That is 22.
22. The only thing, you don't notice anything nefarious as you're walking by, but you do see a lot of people are taking, double takes at Rex as he walks by. Especially like the little kids in the town. And you see a couple of the younger little girls are sort of in awe of watching Surreal walk down the street in her garb. So you can tell that you guys made a little bit of a notice, but not anything more than, oh, these people look important, sort of thing.
I'll ask Surreal real quick. Captain, is the ship secure? No, do you have everything set before we go in? Do we need anything?
Mark, could I retcon that I had Chunk again guarding the ship?
Yeah, I'm just assuming, unless you want to do anything out of the ordinary, that Chunk is left behind. The only way I won't assume that is if you say you bring him with you.
Okay. Cool.
So, yeah. And plus the harbor master, looks over. They got it point at you in this direction.
Got it. Okay. Yes, Baragons, we're good. Chunk's at the ship, and I feel like the harbor master will take good care of it, so we should be all right.
Very good. I'm going to, before we enter the bar, I'm just going to pull up my hood for the Elven Kind cloak. I'm just going to activate it, just in case there's people who are trying to spy.
All right, no problem. So you got that. You now have advantage on stealth checks, I believe.
Yes, and people have disadvantage on perception checks against me.
Yeah. So you guys enter into the bar. Inside, you see the walls are adorned with different kinds of shields, replica weapons. But the most prominent thing that is littering the walls is just paintings of all different kinds of people standing next to the same person. And most of them say different versions of, love this place, best food in Falstaff. And everything is, sort of brightly colored around it. And you notice as you walk in, all the servers walk by and they're wearing the same, creamsicle colored stripe uniform that the guy in the photo or the paintings is wearing. It sort of everything sort of matches and looks the same. Very, very like it's planned out to look this way. And you guys see that there are tables set up and there is a bar in front of you in the back of the restaurant.
What's this guy look like in these paintings?
You see it is just a guy with sort of like a curly hair, a little bit sort of hiding his ears and stuff, so you can't really tell if it. He doesn't have features that make him either look human, elf, or whatever. And he always seems to be like the same exact height as everybody in the photos, in the paintings. So can't really gauge anything outside of the face. And if you want to take a quick scan to see if you see that face in the room, you can roll a perception check.
Sure. 21. You don't
specifically see that face, but the main thing that catches your eye is you see with their back turned to you, a Goliath in the back at the bar with the same hairstyle and the uniform on, with sort of like his back turned to the bar.
Okay. Is there like a bouncer or a bartender I could approach before I approach that person?
Yeah, so essentially, he's the only person you see at the bar. The guy with his back turned there. There's no bouncer or anything here.
Is he like behind the bar as like a bartender with his back
he's
turned?
sort of on the other end of the bar.
Okay.
Yep. Definitely from the uniform, you would imagine that he does work there.
I said, "Excuse me there, sir."
How are you doing? He spins around and, it's not the guy from the paintings.
Okay. I was hoping if you could tell us where I might be able to find a gentleman by the name of Mr. Big Johnson. Mr. Big Johnson, I believe.
And
maybe.
He goes, all right, 1 second. And he turns around, but before he can even turn around, you guys hear the squeaking of sounds like something sliding across the stone floor and hitting up against the bar. And then you look to your left, and a little tiny gnome has popped his head up and goes, "I hear you're looking for me."
I'm looking for you if you are Mr. Big Johnson. I believe that's who I was looking for. Is that your name?
I may be. Who are you?
My name is Barrister Monte. I was told to talk to you.
Okay, and he looks at you and goes, did someone recommend the restaurant to us? Anybody I would know?
I believe I was told to come here from the mayor of, I can't fucking remember the name of the town right now. So, what was the name?
You can say his name too if you.
Joe Montana. I don't remember how you Joan? Mayor
Oh,
Montana.
Joan. Oh, yes, then you must be, Duramonte.
That's what I said, yep.
Okay.
Barrister Monte at your service.
And he sort of looks around, and he goes, "Alright, everybody with you?"
The characters behind me, yes, they are associates of mine.
Okay, he's like, "Alright, let's huddle everybody into the back room here." He turns around.
Umberberg, was that what it was?
Emberberg. Yeah. So he sort of directs you to a door behind the bar. The Goliath lifts the bar up so you guys can walk through. Surreal, give me a perception check.
15.
15? Just good enough. You hear a metal mug drop to your right, and you spot a figure, like half-elf looking, run out the back door after making eye contact with you.
Did I recognize him, or is it too quick for me to tell?
Give me... Let's see. With a 15, yeah, you sort of looked very familiar, and they seem to want to get the hell out of there as soon as they spotted you.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to...
Yeah, I was going to say, of the group, you're the only one that saw this.
Okay. I'm just gonna nudge Baragond, and I'm gonna just, like, give him a heads up, like, I know you're trying to look out for suspicious characters. That half-elf person, I don't know if you saw it, but he looked at me, and he got real scared and ran out of the bar, and he spilled his drink everywhere. So I feel like we just need to be a little bit more on guard here. I don't know what that was about, but he looked really familiar. I just can't remember where I've seen him before. I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you. If you see him again, give heads up. And we'll see
I kind of want to go.
Follow.
I kind of want to go looking for him later when we're done here. It just rubbed me the wrong way.
Did you get a good look at face or features?
He looked half elfin to me. I couldn't really get more than that, but he looked familiar. Like something about him reminds me of something. I don't know. Maybe if I'll keep thinking about it.
Yeah, so roll me an intelligence check just to see how much of the face you will be able to remember.
14.
14. Okay, it'll be enough that if you roll a good enough investigation check, you should be able to find them. It's not there are enough features that stood out to you for that.
Okay.
Are there any like I would imagine in the bar there's no like pebbles or stones in there, right?
No, it's very clean bar and grill. As well as a wooden table, place can be. It's not like dirt floors or anything like that. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll bring it up to group after and see where we go from there.
Okay.
Agreed.
And you guys follow Big Johnson into the room, and you, as right before you go into the back room, Iggy, you turn around and see the Goliath looks at you and sort of raises one eyebrow to you as you walk in.
Do I know this person?
No, but
Or
you
does
know,
he recognize me as being similar to him?
no, the eyebrow is just a very recognizable eyebrow that someone would make.
No.
That is a big giant guy with a
Okay.
little curly thing on top of his head.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys walk inside, and once you get in the room, everybody make a perception check.
Or
20.
Okay.
23.
Okay.
Oh, did I just roll twice? Sorry. it took a while to roll. 18.
Yeah. All right. And so who got over 15?
Myself.
Me.
Okay. Of the two of you, anybody Arcana?
There's 3
Yes.
of us. But,
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I'm Arcana. I am not Arcana.
I'm Arcana.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay. So you roll me an Arcana check. The two of you notice that he is doing something with his hands as you guys walk into the room.
21.
Is
21.
this Big Johnson doing
Yeah.
something with his hand?
Yeah. So you guys notice that. Surreal, you see the same thing, but with your Arcana knowledge, you recognize the spell that he is casting is a Zone of Truth spell. It, he does the motion. It flashes in the room. So everybody, give me a charisma check or save.
– 21.
14.
16.
8.
3.
Okay, so everybody above a 15, you can lie, but he knows that the spell didn't work on you. So do it at your, knowing that he knows you're not under the effect of the spell. But everybody,
Question mark
yeah, go ahead.
when you're done. I have the Ring of Mind Shielding. Does that prevent him from being able to use this spell on me completely, or is it more of just like psychic powers that it would block?
Oh, yeah, Thank you for reminding me about the ring. You
I
guys
have that one too.
Yeah. So
Ooh, ring buddies.
yeah, so you guys are
Wonder Twins.
Yeah, you guys are both. He thinks it worked on you, but the ring blocks it
Okay.
from you. If you want, roll me a just for fun interaction. Roll me perception check, Surreal and Barris, to see if you notice the similar flash of the ring.
Natural 20. 23.
See, yeah, so you both, as it happens, out of the corner of your eyes, notice the flash of a ring in your hands. So do with that information as you will, as two character, in your interactions.
Sure.
So yeah, everybody else that was below a 15, I believe, who was it? That was definitely Jonathan for Rex.
Yep.
Iggy,
I rolled a 3.
Baragon.
For charisma or
Charisma
for the
save.
first roll?
Charisma save.
The charisma, I had a 16.
Okay. So he knows that you're not under the spell, but you can say whatever you want.
Okay.
Baragon and Rex, anything you're asked, you have to tell the truth.
Okay.
No matter if it's damaging to you guys or not. You can also try and stay quiet, but you will look very obvious staying quiet.
Do I know that Baragon is under this
You do
Zone
not.
of Truth spell?
You do not.
Okay.
Yeah, if you had Arcana, you would be
Okay.
able to read it.
So I can tell.
Yeah, you'll be able to tell once he starts
effective.
answering.
Okay.
Okay.
Especially with how guarded Baragon usually is.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So, Yeah, so he looks down. He's like, so, before I start this, have any of you come from the dynasty or lived there at any point?
I have, yes.
Okay. So, do you know of the Delacroix?
I have heard of Delacroix, yes.
Okay. And you are not working with them?
No, I am not working with them.
Yeah, he's looking, and he looks over at everybody else. Same question to the rest of you.
I know the Delacroix, and that's actually why we're here. Is the mayor of Umberburg told us that you might know of a location of one Delacroix, or at least many Delacroix. I don't know how many. He didn't exactly say which one, but I am very interested to find this Delacroix.
And he gets up on the desk and sort of looks you over. He was like, "All right, I can't. Just need to be safe. They have spies, so that's why I had to do that little spell. I apologize if that affected anyone, like stomach-wise and things like that." And he looks around and goes, "All right," and he looks over at Barris and goes, "So, the information I have is that there is a I don't know if you've heard that there's a diplomatic event that'll take place with a masquerade ball at the Hotel Pangea. And that will include, from what I can gather, the Vice Count of the Twilight Seeker Dynasty, Aaron Ironren, and that's Arryn Ianren.
Spell that again.
Arryn, and then Ianren. And I'll have everybody roll. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Iron, is that how it's pronounced?
Ironren.
Yeah,
Ironren.
Yeah,
Ayn Rand.
Yeah,
Ayn Rand.
yeah.
She's the count of
The
Vice
Viscount
Count.
of the Twilight Seeker Dynasty. So, everybody roll intelligence checks for me just to see if you've heard the name before, and then depending on that, there's one more roll.
intelligence.
Yeah, intelligence. Just this is for your memory to see if you've heard the name before.
Harold. 11.
Okay.
6.
All right. So,
Ooh.
everybody above a 10, you have heard of this person. People below, you just know of the title. This is the basically the leader of the Twilight Seeker Dynasty. Is coming into town, or you'll find out where soon. But and those of you that didn't get above a 10, you know that that title is, but you've never heard of this person. If you kind of get what I'm saying there.
Yeah.
For Surreal, what did you roll again?
11.
11. All right, yeah, it's just good enough. You recognize the name of the Pangea Hotel.
Okay.
And what that hotel is. And you would be the only one amongst the group that got above a 10 that would know that.
Okay.
And then those above a 10 roll a history check for me.
Oh.
12. Again.
15.
Okay. Yeah. So you know that Aaron is the, as I said, the leader of the dynasty and the one that brokered the peace, the Treaty of Sovereignty, that has been going on in the land for the last 50 years. They were the main negotiator of that peace. So that's the history lesson for you guys in this episode. that you have learned. Big Johnson continues, and he goes, from the intelligence I've been able to gather, is that there is a newly appointed head of their armada that is coming in to be introduced to the independent city-states and a representative of the Dominion as they celebrate the extension of the treaty at this event. It's unknown why the leader of the Dominion isn't on the list I found. But it's very hard, as you probably know, to extract any kind of information from the Dominion. But what I can tell you, outside of who is going to be there, the Vice Count is going to be traveling with both the Twilight Wardens, which are his personal guard, and the Dustbringers, which is basically the army of the land. And he looks over at Barris and goes, and the Dustbringers are led by, and this is very important to you, one Patrice Delacroix, the third in the line to the Delacroix fortune. Now,
And they're traveling here.
not here. Pangea is located in Hawkins, which is north of here. So that is where the event will be taking place. It's the closest point between both the Enclave, the Dominion, the Dynasty, and the Ice Giant place. So of the ones that are part of this treaty, it is the most central point that's on slightly neutral soil, as the independent city-states aren't, a combined country. So that's why Hawkins is usually the center for all these gatherings, and the Pangea Hotel sort of is the one that hosts all the time.
When is this ball taking place?
About 1 week from today.
Out of game. How far? Would I know how far it is from Astoria to Hawking?
It's about a
Travel-wise?
2-day travel on foot.
Okay.
By ship, you could get there in a day. But you would have to... Surreal, give me an intelligence check.
Okay.
Before I...
21.
do one. So you would have to go back up and dock by Emberberg and then walk back down.
To go to Hawkins.
To get to Hawkins. There's no direct port to that city. Most people that come sort of come by land to there. So, but boat, it would shave a half a day off if you boat and then walk down.
Okay.
So that's up to you guys which way you want to get there. And you see him sort of sit down on the edge of the desk, lean over to the side, and goes, "Now, what I cannot gather is I do not know why or how a Delacroix ascended so quickly in the dynasty. But I hope that you could at least find out that info for me when you do whatever you plan to do to Patrice."
Mr. Big Johnson, how do you come to learn this information? I'm sorry, I'm a little on guard, but are you just a person that deals in secrets? Who am I talking to? Is basically what I want to know, and where's your allegiance lie?
Yeah, and he goes, "Well, essentially, I run the underground information between the independent city-states and all the goings-on in the Dynasty and the Dominion. Well, as much as I can get out of the Dominion. People come to me, pay some good money, as your friend Jome did, to get information on any number of things. Basically information on individuals, locations, things like that. It takes me usually a couple weeks' time to gather everything. But it's pretty easy to hide in plain sight in front of this big monstrosity that you saw, out front of my bar and grill here. Again, you can, he goes, if you don't believe me, when you head back out, take a closer look at the people in the paintings out there with me.
Great. Another question. This masquerade ball, if I was to, I'm assuming it'd be anonymous, but if there was somebody to figure out that Doramonte was in attendance, how do you think most, if not all, of the attendants of this masquerade would react?
He goes, since you were doing something for me, I have thought of this. And he turns around and pulls out an envelope. And he goes, well, I only have 2 of these, so you might want to need to figure out for the rest of you. And he hands you an envelope, and inside are 2 invitations to the masquerade ball. And he's like, I've already gotten you inside. Now, how you get past the, knowing who you are, that's on you guys. I trust that you know what to do.
Can I take a look at the envelope and
Yeah, go
look
ahead.
at the
Investigation
yeah.
check. And while that's going on, he says, I hope that we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and you can eliminate a Delacroix, and I can get some more information on what exactly is going on at the Dynasty Capital.
I rolled an 11.
11. Yep, so it looks very official. You see the Pangea Hotel written across the front of the envelope, wax seal, which has been broken to show you the invitation, and it's the a stamp of the Twilight Seeker Dynasty, very prominent of what looks like in the stamp. It's kind of hard to make out, but it's like a sunrise sort of in there, like rays of sunlight coming out from behind something on there. So you notice that immediately, that this is an official stamp, and it looks very official, but you don't notice anything much outside of that.
It doesn't have like our names on it. It's just basically an invitation. Okay.
Yep.
A plus 1.
Yes. It just looks like you would have to figure out how to, I guess, use the invitation and then get past the guards, sort of thing.
Wait, why would we need? If we had invitations, we could walk past the guards. Are you saying just the others besides the 2 that have invitations?
Yeah,
okay.
You guys can
I was
get in.
making sure.
Yeah,
like that the invitations at least gets 2 of us through the front door past the guard.
Yeah.
Even though you have an invitation, you still need to sneak by.
Yeah. He looks and he's like, whatever disguise you use to not be a Doramonte, Barris, make sure it is good, because they do make sure that there is no fraudulent people walking through with invitations. So
my question, you speak of Great Armada.
Yeah.
Are we not in peacetime? Why are they making a new armada?
No, they have a new leader of their already established navy.
Oh, okay.
And they are introducing him to everybody at this event. And just to clarify for Barris, out of game slightly, what he means is that since there's a Delacroix involved, there may be some notification of them looking for you.
Okay, so technically I could walk in as a Doramonte, but bells are going to go off.
Exactly, yeah. That's what I was kind of trying to get across. So
Gotcha. Okay.
I want to clarify.
Got it.
Yeah. So, and he goes, he's like, so, what these invitations give you, if you flip over to the back, is they allow for the 2 people with this invitation to get a personal meet and greet with the Viscount. And I am going to assume the Delacroix is going to be there in the room. So.
You've given me a lot to think about.
Yeah. And he goes, So one more thing. The ones with the invitations, will not be permitted to carry their weapons into the ball.
That's fine. I don't need one.
That makes things interesting, doesn't it?
So I have faith that you guys will be able to figure that out. Take as many days as you need to prepare into town. There's plenty of places to go. You have the Steel Appeal, which is the blacksmith shop. The Naughty Wyvern, which is the potion shop. You have the wait, I lost my thing. I should have bolded everything. Where is... you have the Heat of the Moment armor shop. And the Flair to Share general store. So anything you need is here. And he looks at Ignatius and he goes, if you need to, toughen up, and does, sort of a muscle pose, and goes, there is the Four Horsemen Amphitheater where fights take place every day. So feel free to explore the town and prepare a little bit. Like I said, you have about a week, and Hawkins isn't really that far from here.
Would it be all right if maybe we hang out in your establishment, grab some food? We have not eaten yet for the day.
Feel free, and I can set you up with 2 rooms upstairs.
Great. Is there these rooms? Are there like private dining quarters, or are they like living spaces?
No, they're. Yeah, I have an inn on top of the bar here, so you guys I can set aside 2 rooms for you. I had only set aside 1 from Jome, because he said that it would only be 2 of you, but I can sort of get a second one ready for you guys if you want. So feel free to stay here for as long as you need. And then, you unfortunately will need to pay for the food. I do run a business here. And he goes, one thing, if you want to make sure you write down or remember that when you get to the Pangea Hotel, make sure you talk to Osmond at the front desk. And tell him that Q Johnson sent you.
Q?
And he'll know what you mean. Q.
Like the letter Q?
The letter Q, yeah.
Okay.
And the person at the Pangea is Osmond?
Osmond, yes.
Okay. Yet.
Quick question for you, Johnson, before we go.
Yes.
Have you frequented the Pangea yourself? Just curious.
I may have had some drinks and maybe met a few people there, and may have gone in and out of there a few times in the past. And
Interesting.
yes. And
Right.
so Surreal, you immediately know who he's talking about in terms of the front desk. So, none of this is new to you, what he's saying. So,
Yeah.
Question for you there, Mr. Big Johnson.
Yes.
Is there like a private dining place we can go and discuss conversations about our upcoming constitutional over to Hawkins?
yeah, he goes, for an extra gold piece, I can have your stuff delivered to your rooms. If you want.
Is that comfortable for everybody, or is that all right?
It's fine with me.
Do you think this will kind of draw attention to us a little bit, or can it be discreet?
He goes, people do it all the time. Some people
Inside
just roll it. He goes, some people just don't like the hustle and bustle of being around a lot of people, so they
Oh, that was
partake
almost
in
so
this.
good. 6.
6. Yeah, he's telling the truth. People do it all the time. It's what some may call room service.
I think that'd be most preferable, Barry, than sitting here having a conversation out in the open. Do you not?
I do agree. Yes, I think this one time we can allow it.
Yeah, I think any preferential treatment of this, as he calls it, room services, will balance out any kind of prying ears if we're discussing our trip in front of, everybody in this town.
Yeah. And
Okay, I agree. Do we want to do this now, or is there?
I think let's have a conversation and then explore the town after that. What say you? Anybody have any disagreement to that?
I think that sounds good to me. I'm starving.
Seems fine.
All right, so we got one room that is ready for us and another one coming in due time. So why don't we go to the one that is currently available to us and have a conversation about what we're going to do today, tomorrow, and next week up until this masquerade ball in Hawkins.
yeah, and as you guys walk out of the room, you exit the door, and Johnson says, looks over at Surreal, makes eye contact, and go to you, and then says, "And Barris." And the two of you turn around. He's like, "If you get me that information, there's something in it for you." And he puts up two hands as though to indicate how much money would be there for you.
Gotcha.
All right.
I am an understanding.
So, you guys exit out, head on upstairs, and what do you guys discuss?
All right,
first,
I guess. Okay, go ahead, Barry.
Sorry, I just need to. I'm going to tinker with my gun. It's still not functional after our last battle.
Okay, you do that. I guess first thing is first is, assuming we're not going to come into more invitations to this masquerade ball, I guess it's the decision of who is coming into this ball with an invitation and who is not, and who is getting in there some other way. Now, I think it's obvious that I should be one. Does anybody have any disagreement towards that?
Are you
Well,
going to
can
be able
you
to change your
disguise?
appearance? Exactly.
Well, that is one thing I'm going to have to figure out while we're here. Maybe I can come across something that may help that.
My idea
I want
was,
to be
since
one of- Go ahead.
this is naval, we have a captain with us who knows the sea. Maybe we have Surreal as one, and she can kind of talk shop as it is with other captains or other naval personnel. Would seem like she would fit in better than, say, myself. I don't know too much of the goings on with naval experience.
How many invitations do we have?
We have two.
Okay. I want to be
Sure.
one of the people. I want to be one of the ones with an invitation. I'm very good at disguising myself.
What if either I'm kind of hesitant to have you go in, Barris, if you cannot properly disguise, because if they see you or can possibly see through disguises, jig is up, as they say.
I understand that, but well, why don't we put a pin? I don't disagree with you on that. Surreal could be one person that goes in. To be honest with you, Barry, I would think you, but at the same time, the fact that you might not be able to bring your weapons into what is it? That's your bread and butter. You without them seems like a bad idea, and
Exactly.
I don't know. No offense, Barry, but you whining and dining is never your strong suit with the upper class.
You are very right. I take no umbrage there. I would stick out like sore thumb.
Now I don't know if this giant robot man is being facetious on his ability to
Nope.
disguise
dead serious.
himself, but
Out of game, I have advantage on deception checks, so like, I'm actually pretty good at this.
We could even have it where, what if Surreal brings Rex with her, and it's almost like this is my first mate, or bodyguard, perhaps.
maybe.
it's
And then
doable.
I would love nothing more to Rex get inside a room with a Delacroix and just pick it up and pull it in half. Just pull it apart with his just brute strength. But I wouldn't want to miss that.
I am
More
with
than
you.
anything else. I want to find if we want to go with Rex, that is okay. But I want to try and figure out a way to make that a third invitation, or get we need a foolproof plan to get ourselves inside that masquerade ball. Now,
Maybe we
I also have,
procure.
I have no problem going in stealthily. I'm as big as I am. I'm actually okay at sneaking around.
Maybe we try to procure third invitation. Maybe
it's
we
definitely
find
not.
out.
We got a week to do so. We wouldn't have anybody that is expert at maybe creating documents, do we?
I'm good at sleight of hand.
Foraging.
No.
I can create foraging tools if need be, but I feel like I'd probably need to see handwriting of.
Well, we have invitations, and you could just copy one of them, right?
I could, yes, if I would just need to create the. Is it calligraphy tools? Is that what it is?
I think there's a if so. Mark out of
Yeah.
game. I do have proficiency in calligrapher's supplies.
Yeah, you just need a forger's kit, I believe it's called.
Forger's kit.
To be able to do this. And the one thing you would have to procure is the material that it's written on. Because it isn't just straight parchment.
Right. So, the forger, is that kind of like the same thing as like smith tools, thieves tools kind of thing?
I think it's an actual kit for those, that you
So
have to
then
roll to see how good you
cannot-
are at it while using it.
Right. Okay, so I can create tools, but I don't think I can create a kit.
No, I think it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then,
Yeah.
yeah, as long as I have I could create any tool I want then. And then
Yeah.
perhaps, if someone here is good at forging, I mean, I can create it, but I possibly could not forge it.
That would be, I guess that's deception or something like that. No, I'd have to, out of game, I'd have to double check on that. But
Oh,
Well,
how long is it gonna take you to create this material?
Instantaneous. I could do it like that.
Okay. Well, do that, and let's just see how well I can forge this with my proficiencies in a calligraphy check.
Okay, let me just make sure I have. So I have. Actually, I need the smith's. Actually, no. If I want to work on my gun, it's tinker's tools, right?
yes,
Okay. So I have a pair of smith's tools. I'll hold it and I'll channel the energy through my gauntlet, and I will turn them into forger's tools, forging kit.
yeah, just for the sheer fact that I didn't realize you'd be creating stuff. Just roll me a d20 and let's see what comes out. Make sure you don't roll a 1.
Great. 13.
Okay, then you're good. It just takes you slightly longer than normal, with a roll of 13 to sort of get it, but it's done.
I do one of those magician things where I'm like really staring at it and I point. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll hand the forger's kit to Barris.
Okay. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try and do my best to imitate the writing.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll handle that a little later, just so I can look up the exact rolls that you need to make on it.
Okay.
But yeah, you don't
So-
need to hand over the invitations right now. So I have some.
No. This is really literally just a test.
Okay.
To see. Let's see how good I can mimic this. And worst comes to worst, we could go to if you could continue to conjure these things. I got a week to try and perfect this. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, as long as I have tools with me, I need my tinker's tools. But if
There
I
is also a
can-
general store. We can stock
Right.
up on things like calligrapher supplies or whatever.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes, I agree. If we, like you said, we have time. If I can go to the store and that's fine. We can keep practicing.
Okay. Is there anything else in town that people want to do? We do have several days before we need to Amscray.
Sure, yes. What were you going to say, Captain?
I would like to try to get to the heat of the moment, the armorer, to see if I can improve my current armor. I think that would be helpful. And then there's the general store, so if you have to pick up supplies, Barry, I'm sure you can get them there.
And I'd like to check out the amphitheater.
Right.
Yeah, but Rex, is there anything you would wish to accomplish?
Doesn't he have to? He's got to give 10% of stuff, right? Your religion. You need to close the bars down, right? You need to party every night. Is that my understanding of?
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to tithe anything right now because I don't have any income yet. But when I do get income, then yes, I will have to contribute some of that. Also, we're here for a week, so yes, I was planning to go out at least one night. You don't need to be so judgmental about it. Let's do things for fun.
Look, I
You
am.
must have supervision if you go out.
Look. I mean no disrespect. I am 100% in terms of hedonistic virtues. I do not mind that at all. I would love to party with a giant robot. That is, on a list of life accomplishments. Probably not in the top 50, but it's there. It's a thing that sounds pretty cool.
Anyway,
I won't write that on my headstone. I got to party with a giant robot. But
I wonder, since Rex, you probably don't need to rest as long as the rest of us. You could probably party much longer than a normal person.
quite hearty, as I understand it.
you could say that I'm a party machine.
Oh.
Does alcohol fuel your circuits?
I mean, sometimes yes. It's not intended to work that way, but it does end up working out that way.
This is very interesting.
All
right.
Question.
Anyways,
Do I need to
moving on
roll? Do I need to roll anything while I'm fixing my gun, or is it just I work on it and then it's all good?
I believe, Ant, when you were learning the gun, it was intelligence checks, right? In the last campaign? Yeah, so roll me an intelligence check.
All right. 14.
Okay. You do fix it. It will take you, you have to go back and forth a couple times, but by the end of the day, you should be good.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Thank
don't, you will need to, when you go to the general store, re-up one, we'll just call them gun repair supplies.
Okay.
Yep.
Also, I wonder if I do need bullets for my rifle. I don't know if they sell them here, but maybe they have scrap metal I can use to create more bullets.
There's the blacksmith. You can always ask.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Yeah.
I have one thing I wanted to bring up when we're all done talking about partying.
I have stuff.
Yeah, I think if I know where this is going, I totally forgot. Is this about the person you saw in the bar area?
Actually, I kind of forgot about that because something else came to mind. So we'll talk about both of those things. Thank you, Barry. Yeah, so when we were following the gnome into the back room, what looked to be a half-elf locked eyes with me, and he kind of looked scared or surprised or something, and he actually dropped his drink and ran straight out of the bar. I thought that was really weird, and he looked a little familiar to me. Actually very familiar to me, but I can't place where I know him from. I feel like we need to just be on the lookout for this person. I have a weird feeling about it. I know that's not much information, but I just wanted to let you guys know.
Yeah,
But it was very
Is
strange.
there some kind of specific character trait feature on this person or this half elf that we could be like, oh my god, that's that guy with that handlebar mustache that ran out of the room?
Mark, you said that it was my perception was high enough where I could have remembered.
You remember the face, but it wasn't high enough to pick out a distinct feature. Like, you'll be able to recognize it, but you don't really know how to describe it to other people. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's one of those situations where I think I could see him in a crowd, but I can't really convey it to you guys. I know that's incredibly unhelpful, so I'll have to just be on the lookout. But I just want you guys to know there could be potentially some shady business going on. I don't know. Maybe he just thought I was extremely attractive because obviously I am, and he just got really, not confident, and he just ran out because he felt like, like a wuss or something. It happens all the time. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. I'm not really into half elves anyway.
You're saying this man is scared of pretty woman?
Probably, yeah, actually. Especially one such as myself.
I want to insight check to see if this happens, quote unquote, all the time.
Go ahead. Let's see how high that insight check is before I have to roll.
That's a 6.
Yeah, you can. Unless if you want to roll to see if you roll hilariously low,
What would I have to roll against that?
Deception.
Deception? Oh, good luck, because I have proficiency.
Unless you're lying, then you don't have to roll anything.
I just want to see what I roll. I rolled a 13.
Okay, yeah.
I told you, it happens all the time.
And you believe her.
Look at me.
Alright, well, I guess going forward, just keep a lookout for like coin pouches and, just be ready to fight, I guess, which seems to be standard operating procedure.
We do seem to attract trouble these days.
I mean, that's like every day for me, so you'll get used to it.
I also wanted to mention there was a rather large fellow down there who gave me a weird look, and I don't know why.
Oh, icky. Are they attracted to you as well?
Maybe he is. I mean, it does happen often.
Does it? Insight check.
I was hoping for...
Barris, roll an insight check with advantage.
Oh.
Because I rolled a 7 at first. I have a +2. I'm rolling like shit for these insights. 19.
Okay. Yeah, he's lying. Unless if you want to see if you get a nat 20 on your deception roll.
I think I'm negative on deception.
Well, I'm only going to give it to you if it's a nat 20.
No, it's an 8.
Okay. All right.
Great.
So, done with the debriefing?
I had one more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
So, the gnome also mentioned Pangea, which is where the masquerade is going to be taking place. I found it important that I should mention the fact. Now, before I tell you guys this, you have to keep this very, very, on the down low, I think they say. You can't tell anyone about this. This does not leave this room. Are we in agreement?
You can count on me.
Yep.
Okay. So, no one actually knows of this. Most people don't know this. Pangea is, although it appears to be a very nice, very upscale inn, it's actually, it's basically a gathering for all of the, most intensely dangerous assassins in the area.
Oh, lovely.
So most people don't know this. So again, you cannot give it away that you know this, or you will be in trouble, I think. So anyway, members known, they're called the Syndicate, basically. I just wanted to let you guys know that when we're there, we will be pretty much surrounded by all assassins. People really don't stay there unless they're assassins. We'll put it that way.
So why would Viscount go there? Does he not know, or do they not? I don't know who the Viscount is. Do they?
Well, it's one of two options. It's either that they know, or that they don't know, and they could potentially be in danger.
This just got very serious.
It did. Also, I've noticed if you. It did. It got real. And I did ask Johnson how he knows so much about Pangea, and it sounds like he frequents it sometimes, so we might not be able to trust Johnson as much as we may want to, because he could potentially be an assassin as well, or at least be connected with the assassins. So, I just wanted to put that out there. We might not want to be rushing in to the Pangea without, certain planning in place.
Have you, Surreal, ever been Pangea?
No, I haven't.
Insight check.
roll it.
A motherfucker on that one. Oh, that's good. 17.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll let her know because we were doing this side conversation. No, she's never been there.
Yeah.
Completely telling the truth, and you know that from that role.
I'll get right up in her face. I'll stare at her and like. If I find out that you have dealings with these people, you're putting my Baddis in harm. We are going to have a difficult conversation.
Baragond, I understand that you're Barris's father and all, but you have to trust me. I wouldn't have told you about this group if I was in on it with them. Obviously. Right?
How does saying go? Closer you are to danger, further you are from harm. And,
So perfect. You guys are great. You're right in the middle of danger and you're perfectly safe. You're welcome.
Just I'll do the eyes are on you now.
I can see that because you're literally in my personal space and I actually don't like it.
Okay, I'll brush past her and kind of give her a little shoulder bump on the way past.
And I hope you know that I have metal on the edges of my shoulders, so that might have hurt you a little bit.
I also have metal on my shoulders.
So where do we want to go first in our little expedition of this Astoria? Want to hit up the general store? Want to get black?
Sure.
I do need to refill my potions.
Oh yeah, me too. Very much so.
I actually have idea. We seem to be without healer. I have healing capability, very limited. We can. I think potion shop would be a good idea. Maybe they have some. Maybe they have something good there I could use. Other than potions, yes. But I'm looking for something very specific.
Do you want a magic wand? You wave it around and heal people.
Yes, essentially, I need one.
Oh, I was joking, but okay.
Way to take thunder out of my surprise. That's saying thunder out of surprise. That's the saying.
Is that what they say?
Now, mark it down.
I thought they heard someone say that.
Thunder out of surprise. Baragon.
Baragon 2021.
Alright, so, you guys eat the food and come up there. It's okay. It's passable. You know, not the best food you ever had, but it is edible. And you head out of the bar, and that's where we'll end this episode, and we'll pick up with you guys exploring the town